Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Etho Modpack. My name is Classic Tim, and today we've done quite a bit since last episode. If you notice, I've actually got an armored jetpack now. Wasn't too much more to make, just some diamond dust, some bronze, and a block of steel, and that added quite a bit of armor there. I think it equals the same as a diamond chest plate now, so that's good. So I'm not sacrificing any armor by having this jetpack on me. And I also made the atomic disassembler. This is the mechanism tool, and it matches my jetpack and my boots, so I thought I'd at least try it out. It's actually a really amazing tool. It's just got one setback. But what you can do with it is if you hold shift and right click on it, you can change the mode. So right now it's on slow mode, and this lets you kind of dig with more precision. So like if you're building or something and you just want to break a little bit, you don't want to like mine through the whole world. You can do that, and if you hold shift again, then it moves to fast mode. And this is pretty much instant mining. So if we come down here, yeah, that's pretty fast. Probably the fastest tool in this mod pack when this thing's on fast mode. And then we've got vein mode, and that'll just mine out a whole vein. I think I saw a coal vein down here. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. So if I mine that, it'll mine out the entire vein all at once, which is pretty sweet. And then one more mode is just well, actually it's off. So if you want to use it as a sword, I think it does 10 attack damage. Or, no, it does 20 attack damage, so that's 10 hearts. So if you just want to use it as a sword, you can set it to off, and then it's not going to break anything, which is kind of nice, so you don't break anything when you're fighting. But the swords that you get from Tinker's Construct are going to be better than that anyway. And then finally it's just normal mode, which is just kind of like a normal speed. It instant mines dirt, but it does, I think it's the equivalent of like efficiency 8 or something like that on stone. So that's cool. It's really convenient to have this because it can do pretty much any mode, or use for any tool, you know, wood, dirt, and it can be used for any occasion, like mining and building, stuff like that. So the setback, though, big setback, it cannot be enchanted in any way. So you cannot put Silk Touch on it, and you cannot put Fortune on it, which basically rules it out completely for mining. There's so many better ways to actually mine out ores where you can use Fortune, or you can use Silk Touch and then pulverize it later. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So I'll pretty much just be using this for building. Speaking of building, where are we at? Let's take a sleep. And I don't know if you guys have noticed yet, but right up there on that mountain, I've started working on a building. I moved all of the applied Energistics stuff from over there up onto here and started working on a building for it. So let's fly up there. So what was here? It was actually a meteorite that hit down right here. There's another double meteorite. The one we found was over there. But it turns out there was actually some more just over here. And there was a big meteorite here that left a big hole, or a big crater. So I decided just to dig it up and then use that to build our little house here, or little area. So basically, I've moved all of our system into this room and then down here, like this. So these are just the ME controllers. I made several of them, and as long as they're connected like this in a ring, they actually work together all at once. And then I put the crafting storage right in the center there. That probably won't be fine. That'll be fine for now, but later we'll probably want to make a bigger one. But either way, I like these just because they're so colorful and they give off light, so that's really cool. And then I made a ton more of these molecular assemblers and just put them on the floor like that. And then I have these things wired underneath. So each one of these ME interfaces holds all the recipes, and each one can hold 9. And then I've actually set it up here to where these are micro blocks. And let's see if I can just show you here. If we take this off, dropped all my recipes, but that's fine. Where'd that interface? The interface can actually go up on both sides of them like that. So each molecular assembler can actually have 3 interfaces on them. And then each interface can have 9 recipes. So that adds up to something like 300 something recipes between all 12 of these molecular assemblers. So hopefully that's enough for a while. Let's put these back where they were. There we go. Yeah, hopefully that's enough for a while. It should be for at least a little bit. Where's my last recipe? I only have 2 in there. Yeah, I guess I did. But yeah, this auto crafting, it is so convenient. Like I can just go in here and I've got a ton of stuff. Like I have these universal cables, and if I go ahead and craft these, you know, it'll craft the redstone. Well, I mean, it won't craft the redstone, but it'll craft the basic ones and then craft them into the advanced ones. So it just skips all those steps, and just having a bunch of these, it'll do all of it for me. So yeah, I'm really happy, actually. I've just been, you know, making all this stuff as I go. I've made several monitors here. The monitors can actually be put in microblocks like this. So I've got 3 different monitors here, all in this one block, and then it's connected by these dense cables. But I've got the interface terminal, which we actually made by mistake last episode, but I ended up using it. What this does is it lets you look at all of the crafting stuff you have in your system. So I've got all my molecular assemblers here, and it lets me go in here and access them, so I can actually take these codes out and put them back in. So if I hold shift, you can actually see all the recipes that I've got in there at the moment, and all the space that I've actually currently got. And this is just with the interfaces down here on the bottom. It's not the ones on the sides yet. So I can actually have quadruple what you're seeing right now in these spots. So yeah, I've got plenty of room for recipes for at least a while. And then this one over here, this is where you actually make the recipes, and then this one's just the normal one. This one actually became annoying if I tried to make these, because you could put stuff in here that you didn't actually have. So it became a little bit tricky when I actually wanted to craft stuff just normally, but that's not a big deal. So now I've got all 3, and I've got my sheep trophy up in the middle. So this is actually pretty expandable the way I've got this right now. We can just go out here, or we can go out here, and of course we can go up. And what would actually be pretty cool is we can connect this wire right here going up and up and up, and we can put, you know, crafting terminals on every single floor, no matter how high we go up. So that'd be really cool. But what I want to do next is you can actually do stuff outside of these molecular assemblers. You can actually smelt ores and pretty much craft anything just by switching this to processing mode. So see, there's a furnace there. So one of the most difficult things there is to craft, or that I've been crafting a lot of recently, is these, let's see, do I have any? Yeah, these logic processors and the calculation processors. There's so many steps to making them, and you can only do one at a time. So we can actually set this up to do it automatically. So let's go down here and see what we can do. So I want to kind of come off of here. I don't want to come off of this wire, because these wires can actually only hold up to so many machines. So if I actually hover over this, you see up in the upper left, this is 3 out of 8 channels. And each one of these things is a channel. I was mentioned before how we need these to get more than 8 channels. But this cable will actually only hold 8 channels. So if I wanted to put more channels here, I'd actually have to upgrade the cables to these dense cables. The problem, though, is you can't actually put the dense cables and the interface in the same block. So I'd have to make it a lot bigger, which would be kind of annoying. So for right now, I'd like to keep that the same. So let's just bring a cable down from here, like that. This is just a smart cable. It can hold up to 8 channels, and it's a smart cable, so that way you see those lines there on the cable as they go. That's actually how many channels are being used up. So you see you've got 1, 2, 3 channels right there for 1, 2, and 3. So that's actually nice when you're trying to figure out how your system's going to work. I bet it's actually kind of dark down here. Let me put some torches just so we can see a little better. I do like this dark block, This is actually the sky stone. If you haven't noticed, this is actually what the meteorite is made out of. You can make these into bricks and then tinier bricks. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of like we've carved out our house from the meteor. But anyway, let's look at these inscribers. So these are what you use to make the actual processors. So we're going to need at least 5. So let's put these like that. We're going to need 4 of them. That's annoying. We're going to have to keep walking around. We're going to need 4 of them just to make the actual, for each one of these presses. So let's go ahead and put these in here now. We've got the silicon one. And we can actually leave the presses in here all the time. We don't actually need to do anything with them. Let's see. Let's do engineering and then calculation. Okay. So we'll just leave those in there. And then we want to put the interfaces on the back like that. All right. So now they're connected. And then now you can see those channels are starting to fill up. Is there no way I can get through here? This is going to be annoying if I'm going to have to keep on walking around. But then this one's going to be a little different because this one needs to have these printed silicon and the redstone in it. And these are going to run out, whereas these don't. So we're going to have to do something a little special with this one. But first, let's just make these and see how they work. So let's come up here and go into this crafting terminal, and we're going to want to make, let's just start with the gold ones, which is the ones I have to make the most of, the logic processor. We're going to need to make this thing first. So it actually won't let me do that. So we're just going to send it gold. So if we send that system gold, then that will make the logic processor. Let's actually just take some gold. We actually have to make one in order to tell the system what it's going to end up making. And that's going to be right here. And we need to give these things power. We can do that just by putting a cable right here for right now. And that'll actually transfer the power from this system all the way throughout all these machines. Yep, there we go. So if we send that machine gold, then we'll get this in the end. So then I can make that, and now if you look, it'll actually say 1 gold makes 1 printed silicon circuit, or 1 printed logic circuit. And then I want to put this thing into this machine here. So now, if we go up top, we should have logic processor. We should have an option to craft it, and let's craft 2 of them and start it. So let's see if this thing actually crafts them. All right, put 1 in. Good. Puts another one in. Good, but it's not taking them out. That's a problem. Because if it can't take them out, then it's just going to keep trying to craft them forever. If I go back to the logic here, see, it's going to keep on trying to craft them, which is a problem. All right, well, let's take these out, and then we're going to have to figure out a way. I put that in there. Hopefully that stops it from actually crafting. We're going to have to figure out a way to get this thing out of the system. I think the only way that we're going to be able to do that is with import buses. Where are all my import buses? Import. I've only got 2 of them, but that's okay. We're going to need at least 5. So we'll go ahead and make 3 more and start. And if you actually look through all of these, you'll actually see the items getting made, if we can find any. Oh, maybe it's already done. Yep, already finished them. Okay. So now we've got these import buses, and it's actually reversed of what you would actually think it would be. Import means it's importing it into the system. It's not importing it into the machines, and then it exports the opposite. Export is exporting out of the system into the machines. So It's kind of confusing because most things work differently. So with these, it'll suck out anything from inside here. Hopefully, this will work. Let's put this thing back here and put... Nope, dang it, that sucked out the wrong thing. Well, that's annoying. I gotta figure out how to suck out this thing from the front here. Maybe I actually have to put it on the front. If I go like that, will that suck it out? Okay, we gotta go back and get that press that we just sucked into our system. Let's put that back down there. That should go back in the top and it shouldn't suck it out. And then let's put this thing back here. So this should suck out from the front, which should suck out this, hopefully. This is more wiring than I'd hoped for. What I can do, though, is go around like this. I'm stuck here. And this one we're actually probably going to have to move up anyway. So let's move this and put that there. And then we'll worry about what we're going to do the next step in a little bit. Okay, so now we can put all of the import buses in the front. And then we can take that one off. Uh-oh. Now we're full on channels because we've got 4 of each, so we're not going to have any space for the other one. So we're actually probably going to have to replace that with dense cables because we have to add the final step here, but that's all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if this works now. If we go to Logic, we want to make just one of them. Start. Okay. So hopefully this thing's going to send gold, it's going to finish, and then suck out, right? Yes. Okay. And then if we go up here, we should have it in the system. Okay, so that works. Awesome. Then we just have to finish it off with the final one. We have to make all of the other ones, but I'll do that off camera. So for the final thing here, we're going to put it right like this. And then we're going to have another import bus here to suck out the end. And then we're going to want export buses to export out of the system. Put that there for power. On the bottom, we're going to want an export bus because we're going to want to put the redstone here and then these printed silicon. Doesn't really matter which spot we put it in, but we'll put that there. So on the bottom, we want the ME interface, and that's where we're going to put, whoops, I have to go down here, aren't I? And this is where we're actually going to put the thing that we're going to use to craft it. ME interface, there. I'm not going to have to break this, probably. Okay, ME interface, there. And in that ME interface, we're going to either put the logic processors or the calculation processors or anything like that, and they're going to be sent up into this spot. But then we want to make sure that the printed silicon is being put into the top slot with these export buses. Again, that's exporting out of the system and into the machine. And we'll put an export bus there too, like that. All right, and we want to export printed silicon into the top and redstone into the back. All right, that should work. The only problem right now is we don't have... All right, looks like it put in the redstone, so that's good. But if you look up in the upper left there, it says device is missing channel. That's because we don't have enough channels here. So we're going to have to take out these cables and put in these dense cables. Right like that. And it doesn't look like we have enough, but that's okay. We need one more. Dense cables. We're going to need one more next. Start. And then it's going to craft all those cables for me, which is so much nicer than having to do that myself. And put that right there. Then hopefully... nope, looks like we're going to need one more. And then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with this one, because we can't put that interface right there. If we do this and this, take that out, put that back, 8 channels. Is that working? Because then we should be putting these two on this side. Device online. That has to be connected. Device online. Device online. Device offline. Device online. Device online. But this is still using up all the channels though. So let's just make sure everything's online. Online, 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 offline. Man, we're still missing a channel there. Okay. Let's see how we can fix that. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. But it looks like that thing did turn on, so we got the printed silicon there. And I'm going to go see if I can route this in a bit of a better way to make sure we get all the channels. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've got it all hooked up now. So now we've got the silicon pattern in here, the logic circuit in here, the engineering circuit in here, and the calculation circuit in here, and the correct presses to match. So it will send the correct stuff for that, and then it'll suck it out here. And then I just have to move this dense cable over to the side here, and then push it all back up there. And actually, you know what? It probably would be better if I put it like this, maybe. Probably doesn't make a difference, but whatever. So now that comes out like that. And then for this last one down here, I've got the actual finished processors. So then it puts the correct pattern in here to create the processor, sucks it out, and then we're good. So if I actually come up into this thing and then type in processor, I have the 3 processors that you need to make. So let's make a couple gold here. Let's go ahead and make 10, and I go next. So you can see it'll use the 6 gold that I've got. And since I've already got 4 logic circuits, it's only going to send 6 gold to make the rest of the 10. And then I'm going to go ahead and start that. And let's see if we can run down really quick and see that they're actually being pumped into here. And then in just a second, some redstone and another silicon circuit should show up. It knows to actually make some more silicon circuits here because we're out of them, I'm pretty sure, which is why it's taking a little bit longer for that to show up. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that it can make the silicon circuit because our crafting CPU there is actually full. Oh no, you know what? I need to make an upgrade for this export bus, a crafting upgrade, so it knows to actually do that. I forgot actually to put that in there, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so there we go. I made this crafting card, and then over here it says use stocked items or craft items while exporting. So that means it'll actually craft the silicon plates so that way it can continue making the processors over there while that's active. Okay, so now let's start that over, and let's try again. So we go to processor. Let's take out the one that it did successfully make, and we'll go ahead and make 9 more. Next, and craft. Okay, so now if we come back down here, it's crafting that, and that should go. And then that should show up, and that should show up, and it should send some silicon over here. Probably already did. Maybe. Did it already do it? Is it stuck again? It should have just sent another one. Unless I need another crafting CPU. I think that the crafting CPU is stuck on this one, and it's not crafting this one. Let's make another crafting CPU really quick. I'm gonna go do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so unfortunately to actually make another one of these, I need some more calculation processors, and to make some more calculation processors, I need some more pure Certus quartz, which I'm actually completely out of now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start mining again before the next episode. But either way, for right now, I just went ahead and made a bunch of the silicon presses myself. So that way this thing can actually continue importing it. So let's go ahead and now let's test it by making all the processors. So let's make one calculation processor. We have one of these left, so let's make that. We'll make one of the engineering processors. This is why we need more CPUs. I can only craft one thing at a time, so just finish that one. Now I can craft that one. There's that calculation processor, and then this should show up any second. Once that finishes down here, there it goes. Crafts that out, brings in another printed silicon and another redstone, and then I can make, finally, the logic processor. We can make a couple of those, I guess. And then that'll bring those down there and craft those away. And it'll actually make these and do all the steps for me, so that way I don't have to. So much easier than having to do this myself. You know, having to get the silicon, get the redstone, get all the pieces, go to this machine, make them one at a time, go to this machine, make them one at a time. Yeah, so much better now. And I just realized that this elevator is actually taking away my XP. I didn't realize that was actually enabled. I used all like 30-something levels that I had since I got this thing. Not a big deal. The issue is once I run out of XP, then that's it. I can't use it anymore. So we'll probably have to figure out some alternative to use that elevator. In the other mod pack that I played, that was not a thing. That was not taking XP. But either way, there's that for the actual processors there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make those for a bunch of the other stuff, like smelting ores, you know, stuff like that. And I should have all those finished up by next episode, or at least a bunch of them. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you guys next time.